1990, a year that stands out in the annals of history, a pivotal moment that marked the end of an era and the beginning of another. A year etched in our collective memory, filled with events that would shape the future in ways we could scarcely imagine at the time. It was a year that witnessed the world holding its breath, poised between the familiar tensions of the Cold War and the uncertainty of a new era. The geopolitical landscape was shifting and the balance of power was in flux. It was a year where the old order crumbled and from its ruins, new hopes and possibilities emerged. The fall of the Berlin Wall symbolized the end of decades-long divisions and the dawn of a new chapter in global relations. From the heart of Europe to the deserts of the Middle East, 1990 was a year of seismic shifts. The reunification of Germany, the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and the rise of new conflicts in the Gulf region all signaled a world in transition. The long-standing divisions of the Cold War began to dissolve, replaced by a fragile optimism for a more unified world. People celebrated in the streets, hopeful for a future free from the shadow of nuclear annihilation. Yet, even as walls came down, new conflicts erupted, reminding us that the path to peace is rarely smooth. The Gulf War, sparked by Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, brought new tensions and highlighted the complexities of international relations. In the realm of science, humanity reached for the stars, launching instruments that would forever change our understanding of the cosmos. The Hubble Space Telescope, launched in 1990, opened our eyes to the vastness and beauty of the universe, providing images that continue to inspire awe and wonder. And in our living rooms, a new wave of entertainment captivated our imaginations, shaping the cultural landscape for years to come. Television shows, movies, and music from 1990 left an indelible mark on popular culture, influencing trends and tastes well into the future. Join me now as we journey back to 1990, a year that redefined the world stage and set the course for the 21st century. It was a year of endings and beginnings, of challenges and triumphs, and its legacy continues to resonate with us today. From the fall of the Berlin Wall to the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope, from the Gulf War to the cultural phenomena that defined a generation, 1990 was a year like no other. Let's explore the events, the people, and the moments that made this year unforgettable.
For decades, Europe had been divided by a metaphorical barrier separating the communist East from the democratic West. This division was not just a physical one, but also an ideological chasm that influenced every aspect of life on both sides. The barrier represented the stark contrast between two opposing worldviews, with the East under the influence of the Soviet Union and the West championing democratic values and capitalism. But the winds of change began to blow. The rigid structures of the Eastern Bloc started to show cracks as people grew increasingly discontent with their lack of freedoms and economic hardships. This period became a turning point, a time of revolution and hope. Protests erupted across Eastern Europe, with citizens demanding greater freedom and democracy. From Poland to Hungary, from Czechoslovakia to East Germany, the call for change was loud and clear. These protests were not just about political freedom, but also about the desire for a better quality of life, economic opportunities, and the right to self-determination. The Soviet Union, under the leadership of Mikhail Gorbachev, adopted a more tolerant stance towards these movements, signaling a weakening grip on its satellite states. Gorbachev's policies of glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring, aimed to reform the Soviet system, but inadvertently encouraged the push for independence and reform in Eastern Europe. The momentous events, broadcast around the world, marked a symbolic end to the Cold War and ignited a wave of euphoria across Europe. The push for freedom and democracy paved the way for the reunification of Germany and the eventual dissolution of the Soviet Union, reshaping the political landscape of Europe and the world. It was a victory for freedom, democracy, and the enduring human desire for unity and peace. The fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989, was a monumental event that paved the way for German reunification. It was a moment that symbolized the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in German history. For over 40 years, Germany had been separated into East and West, a stark reminder of the ideological divisions of the Cold War. The Berlin Wall stood as a physical and symbolic barrier, dividing families, friends, and a nation. The separation was a daily reminder of the broader geopolitical tensions between the Eastern Bloc and the Western powers. But with the barriers removed, the desire for unity proved irresistible. People from both sides of the wall came together, chipping away at the concrete that had kept them apart for so long. The scenes of jubilation and the collective effort to dismantle the wall were powerful symbols of hope and determination. Negotiations between East and West Germany, along with the four main Allied powers, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and the Soviet Union, culminated in the reunification treaty. These discussions were complex and required significant diplomatic efforts, but the shared goal of a unified Germany drove the process forward. On October 3, 1990, East Germany was officially dissolved, and its 5 states were absorbed into the Federal Republic of Germany. This historic moment marked the end of a divided Germany and the beginning of a new era of unity and cooperation. The reunification of Germany was a joyous occasion, marked by celebrations and a shared sense of national pride. People took to the streets, waving German flags and singing national songs. The atmosphere was electric, filled with optimism and the promise of a brighter future. It also signaled a new era for Europe, one in which the old divisions were fading, replaced by the promise of cooperation and integration. The reunification of Germany was not just a national event, but a significant milestone for the entire continent, paving the way for greater European unity and the strengthening of the European Union.
The collapse of the Soviet Union had a ripple effect across Eastern Europe. In the Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, long suppressed desires for independence resurfaced with a vengeance. These nations, annexed by the Soviet Union in 1940, seized the opportunity to break free from Moscow's control. Lithuania was the first to declare its independence on March 11, 1990. Latvia followed suit on May 4th, and Estonia on August 20th. While the Soviet Union initially resisted these declarations, it eventually recognized their independence in September 1991. The Baltic states' struggle for freedom became a symbol of the broader collapse of the Soviet Empire. It demonstrated the power of national identity and the yearning for self-determination, even in the face of overwhelming odds.
While the world celebrated the fall of the Berlin Wall and the reunification of Germany, a crisis was brewing in the Middle East. On August 2, 1990, Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein ordered his forces to invade neighboring Kuwait, claiming historical territorial rights and alleging Kuwaiti oil overproduction. The invasion of Kuwait sent shockwaves through the international community. The United Nations Security Council condemned the invasion and demanded Iraq's immediate withdrawal. A US-led coalition of 35 nations was assembled to enforce these demands. On January 17, 1991, Operation Desert Storm commenced, marking the beginning of the Gulf War. The coalition launched a massive air campaign against Iraqi forces, followed by a ground offensive that liberated Kuwait in just 100 hours.
On February 11, 1990, a man who had become a global icon of the struggle against apartheid walked free from a South African prison after 27 years of incarceration, Nelson Mandela. Mandela's release marked a turning point in South Africa's history. Imprisoned for his activism against apartheid, Mandela had become a symbol of resistance against racial segregation and oppression. His release, a result of years of campaigning and international pressure, signaled the beginning of the end of apartheid in South Africa. Following his release, Mandela played a pivotal role in negotiating a peaceful transition to a multiracial democracy in South Africa. His leadership and commitment to reconciliation earned him worldwide admiration and the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993.
On April 24, 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope was launched into orbit aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery, marking a new era in astronomy. Its mission objectives included studying the universe's most distant stars and galaxies. This revolutionary telescope, named after American astronomer Edwin Hubble, would revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Some of its most significant discoveries include determining the rate of expansion of the universe, capturing detailed images of nebulas and exoplanets, and providing evidence for the existence of dark energy.
As the world watched history unfold in 1990, the entertainment industry was also making waves. That year, several iconic movies and television shows graced our screens, leaving a lasting impact on popular culture. One of the most memorable films of 1990 was Home Alone, a family comedy that introduced us to the clever and resourceful Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin. This movie not only became a holiday classic, but also cemented Culkin's place as a child star. In the realm of drama, Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese, captivated audiences with its gripping portrayal of life in the mob. Featuring stellar performances by Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta, Goodfellas is still considered one of the greatest films of all time. On the small screen, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air burst onto the scene, introducing us to the charismatic Will Smith. This sitcom, with its catchy theme song and heartwarming storylines, quickly became a favorite, addressing important social issues with humor and grace. Another significant television debut was Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. This mysterious and surreal drama enthralled viewers with its quirky characters and enigmatic plot, influencing countless shows in the years to come. These movies and TV shows from 1990 not only entertained us, but also shaped the cultural landscape, leaving an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Their legacy continues to inspire and captivate new generations of audiences. As we reflect on the pivotal moments and cultural milestones of 1990, it's also important to remember the individuals who came into the world and those who left us during this year. Among the notable births in 1990, we have Emma Watson, best known for her iconic role as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter series. Watson's talent and advocacy for women's rights have made her a significant figure in both the entertainment industry and global social movements. Another notable birth was that of Jennifer Lawrence, who would go on to become one of the most celebrated actresses of her generation, starring in blockbuster films like The Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook. On a somber note, 1990 also saw the loss of several influential figures. One of the most significant was Roald Dahl, the beloved author of children's classics such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Matilda. Dahl's imaginative stories continue to enchant readers of all ages. The world of music mourned the passing of Leonard Bernstein, the legendary composer and conductor whose work bridged classical and popular music. Bernstein's contributions to musical theatre and orchestral music have left an enduring legacy. These births and deaths of 1990 remind us of the ever-changing tapestry of human life, where new talents emerge to inspire future generations, and we honor the legacies of those who have passed. Each of these individuals in their own way has left an indelible mark on our world. As we journey through the significant events of 1990, we see how each moment has shaped our world today. From political upheavals and scientific milestones to the cultural phenomena that captured our imaginations, 1990 was indeed a year of transformation. And now, as we conclude our look back, we want to express our gratitude to you, our viewers. Thank you for watching, and your support is greatly appreciated. Your engagement and interest drive us to continue exploring the rich tapestry of our shared history. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the years that have defined our past and continue to influence our present and future. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the world around you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Your support helps us bring more stories to life. Thank you, and see you in the next video.